Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Yin Yoga. We're going to start in Shavasana, and the usual amount of props tonight, which will be, let's see, 2 blankets and a bolster or cushions from your couch. And you can just come lying on your back. So getting comfortable. So folded blanket under the head, bolster under the knees. We're going to be working with the theme of moving from the summer into autumn tonight. So we're going to be working with the lung and large intestine meridian. And let's begin. Let's start by lengthening the back of the neck. And so just moving the chin a little bit down towards the throat and back towards the ears, feeling the lengthening at the back of the neck. And then moving the shoulders down and back, right? So broadening across the heart center. And tracing your awareness down the body from the heart, down past the lungs and into the belly. And just feeling any softness in the belly. Feeling the hips balanced on your mat. And the thigh bones over the bolster. And the lower legs completely relaxed. Arms beside the body, palms facing up towards the sky. So let's start by visiting all the different dimensions of our body, okay? And we'll do that with kindness, right? So see if you can just cultivate a sense of kindness in yourself, whether that's remembering an act of kindness that was done to you recently, or maybe you did something kind for somebody. And just leaning into the energy of that kindness, right? That loving acceptance, that giving. And then starting to direct that kindness toward the self. And then we're going to start to welcome the physical body, right? The first layer of our being, noticing sensations, pulsations, vibrations, noticing areas of temperature change. And then shining that light of kindness on those sensations and welcome them into the practice. Right? These are all unique conditions. You'll never again have this set of physical conditions. Right? This is a very unique, precious moment. Right? So welcoming them into the practice as gifts. Gifts that we get to work with tonight. Right? We get to process them. We get to heal them and transform them. And then for the next layer of the physical body, let's bring the palms of the hands to the heart, right? Connecting with the emotional body. And just noticing the full array of emotions that show up for you tonight. The pleasant, the unpleasant. And once again, turning to the uniqueness of this set of emotions, combined with these sensations in the body and welcoming all these emotions into your practice. And get to work with these and heal them and to transform them or to celebrate them. And then let's turn to another dimension of our being, the mental body. If you like, you can bring the palms of the hands just on the head. And just tuning into the sensations in the feeling tones in the mind. Maybe there's a lot of thoughts there. Maybe the mind is calm. Or maybe there's some negative stories that have an adamant nature to them. Giving yourself a hard time. Or maybe there's some pleasurable thoughts that have been supporting you throughout your day. Okay, so welcoming the uniqueness of the mental body as it presents itself tonight. And welcoming it into your practice. And then let's bring the palms of the hands onto the belly, just below the navel. Elbows relaxed on the earth. And so then directing your light of kindness into our breathing practice. Right, so taking a gentle inhale through the nose. Feel the belly rise into the hands. And then exhale, open the mouth. Okay, gentle inhale through the nose. Feel the belly rise into the hands. And then exhale, opening the mouth. You can make an ah or a sigh on the exhale. Let's do that a few more times. I'll guide you through one more cycle. Inhaling into the belly. Feel the belly rise into the hands. And then as you exhale out the mouth or out the nose, feel the belly release in towards the spine on the exhale. Right, so that sense of letting go on the exhale. Just observing the belly move down towards the spine, as if it were emptying you out for the next inhale. And so dropping into your own space here, finding your own rhythm for a few rounds. And just feeling the belly rise into the hands on the inhale. And then as you exhale, feel the belly release in towards the spine. And then exhaling into the emptiness at the base of the exhale. And so the breath is gentle and kind. Last breath here, inhaling through the nose. Feel the belly rise into the hands. And then as you exhale out the mouth, feel the belly release in towards the spine. And exhaling into the base of the exhale. And that momentary pause in the moment after exhale. And then let's bring the palms of the hands to the side body. Gently cupping the side ribs with the hands, elbows relaxed on the earth. So now let's inhale into the belly and continuing into the side ribs, feeling them expand into the hands. And then as you exhale, open them out wide, exhaling down the midline of the body and into the pelvic floor. Right, so long melting breath on the exhale. On the inhale, feeling the belly, or feeling the ribs move up and out into the hands. And then as you exhale, feel the ribs move in and down. Exhaling into the emptiness at the base of the exhale. Okay, so finding your own rhythm here for a few rounds. Again, this is a very gentle and kind breathing practice. It's just helping us to arrive and settle the nervous system. And then last breath here on the inhale, feel the ribs gently expand into the hands. And then on the exhale, feel the ribs move in and down. Exhaling down the midline of the body and into the pelvic floor. And then bring the palms of the hands to the upper chest, palms facing down, just below the collarbone, elbows relaxed on the earth. Inhaling belly, side ribs, mid-back, upper back, and into the upper chest. And then opening the mouth, long, cleansing, melting exhale, all the way down past the heart, the lungs, the belly, and into the pelvic floor. Right, so tapping into this letting go on the exhale. Inhaling belly, side ribs, mid-back, upper back, and into the upper chest. And then opening the mouth wide. Okay, finding your own rhythm for a few rounds of breath. Last cycle here. Inhaling belly, side ribs, mid-back, upper back, till you feel the gentle lift under the hands in the upper chest. And then opening the mouth wide with an ah or a sigh, and just exhaling into the base of the exhale, into the moment after exhale. And then returning the arms beside the body. And just feeling the stillness that might be available to you. And the theme of tonight's practice is autumn. We'll be working with the lung and the large intestine, meridians. And the lung is associated, and those two organs are associated with letting go. And so you might like to ask yourself, is there something that you would like to let go of as you move from summer into the autumn? Or perhaps what is it you're afraid to let go of? And so please join me in setting an intention around perhaps those two questions. Or if you're working with any other intention in life, you can do that. And let's set our intention together for our time tonight together. Let's do that with the sound of inhaling for And then let's bend the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the knees, gently squeezing the knees in, relaxing the lower legs, shoulders down and back, lengthening the back of the neck. The jaw is relaxed. And just connect with the breath. 2 cycles of breath. And when you're ready, rolling over to the left side. If you have that available, the inside of the body. And then pressing the palm into the earth, coming up to straight spine. Okay, so we're going to start with butterfly pose tonight, just to decompress the spine, inner thighs, before we move into the lung and large intestine work. So let's please come seated on a blanket, and you want a prop beside you. And you're going to sit on the edge of the blanket, and let's keep the, let's move the heels out a little bit further than you normally would. So I have about a foot here between the pelvis and my ankles. The soles of the feet are together, the knees are wide. Okay. And I'm going to inhale through the crown of the head, hinging at the hips, coming forward, fingertips to the earth, right? Feeling the sensations, inner thighs, groin, outer hips, and perhaps the lower back is has a sensation as well. Okay, so coming to your first edge, where you feel a moderate sensation in these parts of the body. You don't want any numbness or tingling. If you do, just lift the head and back off. And so the further the head to the earth, the more you'll feel the sensation. And then once you have your edge, you can perhaps build a few props or just one prop, and just allow the head to turn in. And as you turn the head in, you may start to feel it in the mid and upper back. Right, so this is just decompressing the spine here in butterfly. And the head is supported. And just start to turn the energy inward. And let's start to revisit the sensations in the body. Notice where you're feeling the sensation the most. And just tracing the sensations with your mind's eye, as if you were following them around the body. And so the breath is relaxed here. You can breathe any way that's comfortable, excuse me, or you can do the ujjayi breath. And that's a very grounding breath. And if you know that, please do it. Otherwise, I will guide you through 1 or 2 cycles. And so the lips are gently sealed. And we're just sipping in air through the nose towards the back of the throat. And then on the exhale, gently caressing the roof of the mouth and making the sound of the ocean on the exhale. And so if that breath feels comfortable to you, you can do that in any of the yin poses, or you can do any breath that feels comfortable. Okay, so settling into the breathing technique that feels most natural for you here. And as the sensations start to become more intense, just noticing. Just watching the sensation. If you're feeling a bit agitated here or your mind is very fast, just see if you can bring your attention to the movement of the belly on the inhale. Right? Just gently feel the belly swell. And just gently move to accommodate the breath. As you're in a forward fold, this will be a very subtle movement. Right, so returning to the comfort of the belly. Each time you feel agitated or frustrated, or you just feel that you can't be with yourself, right? We all go through that. And so just finding ways to ground yourself. That's what the yin practice is all about, right? These are little mini healing sessions. Each yin pose is an opportunity for awareness and healing and learning new ways of being with ourselves. And so let's all take a gentle inhale through the nose, and then let's exhale, open the mouth. Noticing where you're feeling the sensation. Is it moving around the body? Is it inner thighs, outer hips, or up the spine? And is that achiness towards the surface of the skin? Or is it deeper in the bones? How deep is that ache? Okay, so last 3 breaths here. Last breath here. And then on the inhale, Lifting the head, pressing into the prop. Let's just move the prop to the side. Let's just bring the knees in. Just allow the legs, just lengthen the legs. You can have the palms on the thighs, close the eyes, or you can have the palms behind you as if you're lying on the beach. Just allow the feet to fall open, right? So I'm just going inward here for a few breaths, noticing the rebound effects of the pose in the body. Noticing any lingering achiness. And so as the fresh chi moves through the body, that achiness will turn to harmony. And see if you can just notice that. It's quite a beautiful thing. It's like the fresh chi is clearing congestion in the body. Just bring your attention to the breath. And let's take an inhale through the nose, down into the belly. And exhale, open the mouth. Great. If you feel that you would like to integrate that pose more, and you still feel some achiness, you can stay here until you're ready. Otherwise, you can join me in our next pose, which is wide knee child's pose with activation for the lung meridian. And so please make sure that your knees are supported. You can place a blanket underneath the knees. And we're going to come into wide knee child's pose, so big toes touching, knees wide. And so the wider the knees, the more you'll feel it in the inner thighs. Okay. And so we're just going to start by bringing both arms over to the right as far as they will go. And the forehead is just in between the elbows. And we're going to place that left palm on top of the right. And so both arms are straight here. Then you're feeling a sensation down the left side body, across the shoulder, and maybe down the arm. Okay, so the left palm is on top of the right, and the head is in between the head is on the earth in between the elbows. And if you feel that the twist here to the right is destabilizing the hips, you can just back off on the angle a little bit, allowing that left hip to move back towards that right heel just a little bit. Okay, so if this is too much on the knees, you can come up and place a blanket between the backs of the knees. So settling into the sensations. And bringing your attention deep into the body. How deep, what is the depth of these sensations? Are they just under the skin? Are they around the muscle? Are they deeper into the body? And see if you can invite the belly just to drop towards the earth. And as you inhale through the nose, just watch the belly expand. Again, so the breath is soft and kind. As we move from the summer to the autumn, in Chinese medicine, the organs that can become most out of balance are the lung and the large intestine, right? So that's what we're working with tonight. And you'll know that you have an imbalance in these energy channels, feeling acute sadness, right? I think we're all kind of a bit sad at the moment. You know, a lot of us have lost a lot during the pandemic, and we continue to more gets revealed on a daily basis, right? So there's a lot of sadness around, right? And then on top of that, there can be prolonged sadness and grief, like grief about what we have lost, the mourning of life as we knew it. So the opposite of all these sadness is courage, right? So when these parts of the body and the energy channels are flowing, we feel courageous. And we have the courage to face our sadness and to just be with ourselves. So just breathing into the sensations here. Okay, last 3 breaths here on this side. And let's take the last inhale together. Gentle inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. And then on the inhale, let's bring the elbows back to center. And then scoop the knees back. We're going to come lying on our back. So coming onto the belly, head to the earth, turning the head to one side. So just dropping into the mat and feeling your mat support you. Right. So the lung and the large intestine, they have this. The way they work together is the lung is about bringing in fresh chi from the heavens. Right. So fresh breath, fresh energy through the lungs. And then the large intestine is about getting rid of what we no longer need. So autumn is a time to let go and to look at what is no longer serving us. So just taking a few breaths here. Last breath here. And then from here, we're going to come into broken wing on the left side. Right, we're going to do the right side of child's pose in a moment. Okay, so we're going to just bring the left arm to cactus arm. Right, so my left elbow is is just a little bit further up than my shoulder, right? So the palm of the hand is facing down. Maybe I'll just do it this way, like this. And then I'm going to cup the right hand. And then I'm going to stack the hips, the knees, and the ankles, and just pressing into that right palm. So feeling this deep opening across that left shoulder, right across the left chest, the shoulder, and down that left upper arm. Okay, so being careful here. If it's too much, you can just return that right knee to the earth and just use that right hand to keep that sensation in that left shoulder, arm. And so the range of motion is pretty limited here, even for people that have open shoulders. And you can place the palm of the right hand on the earth, which might be more relaxing. Okay, so starting to breathe into that sensation. This is the lung energy channel running across the chest and down the arms and into the thumb in the hand. If you need to back off, just allow that hip to come closer to the earth. Notice how your jaw is doing right now. And so as we let go with the sequence, the jaw might have a tendency to hang on. So let's just move the jaw from side to side. We're just going to be here for another 5 to 6 breaths, okay? The connective tissue is less dense on the upper body, so we hold the yin poses for shorter periods. And let's take the last breath together. Gentle inhale through the nose, down into the belly, and then exhale, release the breath. And then releasing the pressure on the palm of the right hand, moving slowly. And let's just bring both arms to cactus arm, forward, resting on the earth, and just turning in here. Feeling the sensations in that left arm. You still might feel some achiness. And that will turn to harmony soon. Last cycle of breath here. And then on the inhale, just bring the elbows in towards the ribs. Let's come back into our wide knee child's pose, and this time on the left side. Okay, and so the big toes are touching and the knees are wide. And then I'm going to just scoot my hands over, my arms as far as they will go over to the left. And then I'm going to place the right palm on top of that left palm and then relax into that shape. So I'm feeling the sensation just up the right side body, shoulder, and perhaps the upper arm. And the head is on the earth in between the elbows. If you feel that the right hip is coming off the earth too much, you can just back off on the angle of the hands, coming more back to center. And so just surrendering into the right side body opening, wherever you're feeling the sensations. And again, if your knees are tender here, you can place a blanket at the backs of the knees to take the pressure off the knees. Inviting the belly to drop towards the earth. And just noticing if any sadness is coming to the surface. It's just all part of the sequence of letting go. And sometimes when we come to stillness, our emotions can come to the surface. And we can get to release them in a very beautiful way. And so just noticing what might be coming up for you, and just knowing that it's all part of this practice, the sequence. And so having the courage to face what's coming up for us has been very difficult for me over the years. Just being able to sit with what's coming up without trying to change it, without trying to numb it in any way, or without trying to push it away. And so just being with ourselves as we work through our feelings of sadness and grief. Noticing where the sensations are feeling the most. Last 5 breaths here. Now let's take the last breath together. Inhaling through the nose, down into the belly. And then exhale, open the mouth. The inhale, bringing the elbows back to center. And then coming onto the belly one more time. Bringing the head to the earth. You can put one palm on top of the other and turn the head to one side if that feels good. And just dropping into the mat. And just diving into the sense of letting go. And then turning the head the opposite direction if it's turned to one side. Last cycle of breath here. And then coming up, let's do the right side of the long meridian this time. So bringing that right arm to cactus arm and just a little bit higher than my shoulder. And then I'm going to cup the left hand. My left hand is about shoulder height. And then I'm just going to press into that left hand. And I'm stacking the hips, the knees, the ankles. And if this is your tighter side, you might notice you're a little bit off balance. Or perhaps you can move into the stacking of the side body more easily. And just noticing if this is your tighter side. And making sure that you don't have too much of a sensation in that right shoulder. You definitely want a light sensation, light to moderate. And you're feeling that across the right chest, the right shoulder, and the right upper arm. If it's too much, you can just back off, pressing into that left palm, or you can bring that left knee to the earth. So seeing if you can relax into the shape. It's quite an awkward shape, but it's very therapeutic for the long channel that we're accessing tonight. And then softening the jaw. Seeing if you can stay ahead of any tension in the jaw, just moving the jaw from side to side. Notice where you're feeling the sensation the most. Is it in the right part of the chest or the shoulder, the arm? Just noticing, observing where you're holding your tension. Directing the breath in there. I'm not trying to change it or convince that tension to go, but just to be with it, right? Just be with these physical sensations and being with our emotions as they come up in the poses. And then also being with the thoughts, right? The thoughts from the mental body. Okay, so just another few breaths here. Last 2 breaths. And the inhale, coming back to center, rolling down onto that left hip. You can have the arms any way you want, bringing the forward to the earth. You can keep the arms in cactus arm. And just dropping into the mat, feeling the rebound effect. You might feel some sensations across the right arm, right down into the thumb. If you like, you can bring your intention to mind. If you set an intention for tonight's class, just bring that to mind and just allow it to sit there and just observing as if you're implanting a seed in your psyche. Right? This is the season of harvest. And so we get to make space by letting go. And then from here, we're going to come up to Sphinx pose. Let's bring those elbows underneath the shoulders. And see if you can clasp one hand, if you can clasp the thumb on one hand with the other hand. Right, so just a gentle clasp. It doesn't matter which one. And let's bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. And so the target tissue here is the lower back. And you want kind of a light to moderate sensation, more light than moderate in the lower back. And so here we're cultivating the kidney chi, and I'll explain more about that in a moment. And so if this is too much already, you can bring the elbows forward, just clasping the thumb. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, what you can do is you can just bring the legs, widen the legs. Just notice how that shows up in the lower back. So you want to make sure that you have kind of a light to moderate sensation in the lower back, and it's not painful. There's no numbness or tingling. And if you're unsure, just bring the legs back to center. And if you would still like to go a little bit deeper, you can keep the legs wide, or you can place a blanket underneath the elbows. Okay, so dropping inward again. Noticing where you're feeling the sensation in the lower back. Right, so what we're doing here is cultivating the kidney chi where you're feeling the sensation. And this is the sequence we're doing here is, so what we're doing is we're bringing fresh chi into the lungs. And then what the lungs do is they send that fresh chi down to the kidneys where the fresh chi gets rooted in. Right, so there's this beautiful symbiotic relationship between the lungs and the kidney. And so we're just honoring that here. It's just a beautiful way to complement the lung energy work we're doing. and clasping the thumb, which is this is a Jinsen Jitsu hold where the hands are used as energetic jumper cables to activate the energy of the corresponding organ, and in this case, it's the lung. Right, so lots going on in this pose, but really all you want to feel is that sensation in the lower back. Noticing the jaw. Is the jaw tense? The jaw loves to hang on to stuff. As we're trying to let go and release, the jaw can be a little bit stubborn. So just let's move the jaw from side to side. Dropping into the breath here. And just being with any emotions that are coming up. Okay, last 5 breaths here. If you need to come out early, please do. Listening to your body. Let's take the last breath together. Inhaling through the nose, down into the belly, and then exhale out the mouth. Okay, so releasing the hand clasp. We're going to come back to knees together, child's pose. All right, so moving very slowly back, right? So now we're just going to open this part of the back that we compressed. So allowing the hips to return towards the heels very slowly. And then when you're ready and you feel that your back is sufficiently ready for this, you can bring your forehead to the earth. And let's just reach the hands out in front. Elbows bent, palms of the hands on the earth. So let's just really spray the fingers here. Allow the palms to widen on the earth. Last 3 breaths here. And then let's inhaling, coming up onto the palms. So we're going to transition onto our backs. Right? So what I like to do is just cross one ankle over the other, bring the sit bones to the earth, and then as gracefully as possible, move the blanket out of the way. And so we're going to come lying on our backs. And let's bring the feet wide, knees together, feet wide. Okay, so feet are out towards the sides of the mat, toes in, heels out, knees together, arms beside the body, palms facing up towards the sky. Just taking a moment. Just dropping into any spaciousness that tonight's practice is harvesting or creating within you. And so when we let go, we create space. Perhaps there's still some little elements that are hanging on. Letting go really is an ongoing process, right? It's kind of a lifetime process. But even just bringing awareness to the parts of us that still need to let go can be helpful. So just 3 cycles of breath here as we just process that. And then last breath here. Okay. So from here, we're going to move into a twist. So let's lift the hips a little to the left and back down, right? So lift the hips a little bit to the left. And the easiest way to come in would be knees together. You could place a bolster in between the knees, or you can cross that left leg over the right and invite both knees to glide down towards the left. And you'll start to feel a twist of the side body. And it's okay if that left shoulder is off the earth. And let's open that left arm to a T. Or to go deeper, you can just bend the elbow. And you'll start to feel the sensation in the upper arm across the chest. And you can move the elbow up or down. Generally up will take you deeper. You can place the right hand on that outer left knee. You can turn the head over the right shoulder. And again, if this is too much, you can place a bolster in between the knees. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper into the chest and the upper arm, you can just move the elbow like half an inch up towards the ear. For the last few breaths here. Or you can even straighten that arm way overhead. Okay, last 3 breaths here. And then on the inhale, let's bring the head back to center. And then gently uncrossing the legs, turning the sole of the left foot to the earth. Moving slowly here. And then straightening the spine. The chin is in line with the pelvis. And just allow the spine to settle for a few cycles of breath. And then when you're ready, let's move into the other side. And this time, let's lift the hips a little to the right and back down. And then to go deep, you can cross the legs and glide the knees down towards that left side. So if you need to back off, you can place a bolster or cushion in between those knees, placing the left hand on that outer right leg. And then you can open that right arm to T or cactus and moving the elbow up towards the shoulder, towards the ear will accentuate the openness in the arm and the chest. And then you can turn the head over that left shoulder, just dropping into the sensations, the opening, the left side body, across that left side chest, front of the shoulder, the upper arm. Just noticing how your jaw is doing now. And just see if it's still a bit tense. You can move it from side to side, encouraging it to soften. And again, for the last few breaths, just finding that optimum position for the arm. You can just move the elbow up towards the head, or you can straighten the arm if that's available, or stay where you are. Last breath here. And bringing the head back to center. And then gently unwinding the knees. Returning the sole of the right foot to the earth. Bringing the hips back to center. Chin in line with the pelvis. Arms beside the body. Palms facing up towards the sky. Just 2 cycles of breath here. Then let's bend the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the knees. Lengthening through the back of the neck. Feeling the lower back widen on the earth on the exhale. Gently squeezing the knees in for 2 more breaths. And then legs down for final Shavasana, or perhaps you'd like to meditate. Bending the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the knees, gently squeezing the knees in. And rolling over to one side. And pressing the palm into the earth, coming up to seated. As you come to seated, let's move the flesh of the buttocks back. Coming on to stable sit bones. Feeling the spine blossom upward towards the heavens. Shoulders down and back. Heart open, chin back slightly. And let's just take a moment to honor the season of autumn. We're just taking a moment to notice that it's here. Notice that nature around us is adapting already. And is there any little small changes that we can make in our lives to align ourselves with the season of harvest, the season of letting go? And then let's bring the right hand onto the heart, the left hand on top of the right. And let's set our intentions out to the universe together with the sound of Om. Inhaling for Om. Hands to prayer. Thumbs to third eye. Let's bow to the practice and our teachers. Namaste.